Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Drew here from Gamer Tactics, and tomorrow is the official release date of the 2007. I don't know what it's called, just servers, I guess, not private servers that are coming out tomorrow for RuneScape. So essentially, we're going back to 2007. It's going to be a whole different game. Everyone's going to be started off at level 1, and I was talking to some friends that we've been playing for like 5 or 6 years, and I know there's going to be some people who haven't played back then. And so today I just kind of want to talk to about it a little bit and share some definitely very helpful tips on how to make money. I'm going to be talking about some of the skills. So first things first I want to say is they did a poll earlier, and this will definitely come in handy later on when I'm explaining stuff, so I'm going to let you guys know now. 46% of the people who have voted, or at least who said they have voted for these new servers, 46% of them have stated that they want it mainly for PKing. 27% people said it was for skilling. I'm a little excited about skilling. And 16% people said PVM. And then there was 10% people who said questing. So I guess questing is more popular. But yeah, anyways, I kind of want to talk about what skills are going to be needed, because this is one thing that definitely is going to actually make a difference. Because if you're training a skill like agility, you're not going to make any money. If you're training a skill like prayer, you're just going to be wasting money. And there's always been that way. There's been skills who've been more profitable, and there's been skills that have been less profitable. So anyways, the first one I'm going to talk about is herblore and farming. Now, herblore, the big hype for herblore right now is the fact that there's overloads. But we're going back to 2007. There's not going to be any overloads. If 46% of people, that's not over, but that's about half. At one point it was 60%, but 46%, so about half of the community who's going to be playing, is really going to be interested in PKing. So they're going to need food and supplies. So that right there will tell you that herblore for making super attacks and super strengths is going to be in demand. And if you're one of the first people to get that for prayer pots or whatever, it's going to be worth a lot of money. And farming, I guess I generally have to explain why, Ranars are going to be a big demand for prayer pots, and Aviantos or whatever for attacks. I don't remember all the specific ones, but that's going to be something that's going to be needed. So my suggestion to you guys is, from day one, if you can, work on farming. And if you know any ways to get seeds, do that, because seeds are going to be definitely profitable. The next skill I'm going to talk about is fishing and cooking. Now, these two skills alone are going to be always profitable. Some skills, like hunter, they kind of vary. Or woodcutting, in fact, they always sometimes they're profitable and sometimes they're not. Fishing and cooking are two skills that should always be profitable. Cooking is a meh. Sometimes cooking isn't always profitable. Sometimes it's actually, you lose money doing that. But when this first comes out, people are going to have one fishing and one cooking. And the moment you get on, rush to get the highest fishing and cooking level, you can supply the people who want to PK and PVM. You can supply them with the food they need, because a lot of people are going to be rushing to get stuff like barrows or dragon fire shields, and they all need that. They all need food and pots, and so herblore and fishing and cooking are all going to be in really high demand. So those are definitely some skills to consider. The next one is woodcutting, fletching, and firemaking. Now, firemaking at first will be almost useless. It's always been kind of a useless skill, but more so now. Logs will be uncommon, and buying a big amount of logs could take hours, making this skill very time consuming, with almost no benefits besides the total level and a chance with a skill cape. Woodcutting, though, has a good chance to become very profitable, with fletching being a fast and profitable skill, and I guess the demand of logs could be high, and fletching has a good chance of being profitable and getting your total level up fast. Maple longbows use have always kind of been good with alching, but because we're just starting out and very few people are going to have the stats needed to alch, not a lot of people are going to have high magic, because not a lot of people are going to have rune crafting, and if not a lot of people have high rune crafting, not a lot of people are going to have runes. So those two skills are not so much rune magic, but rune crafting. Those runes are going to be in very high demand because magic is a very big part of RuneScape. I would say it's one of the skills that people use almost every day when playing, rather than skills like crafting that some people use, some people never use. But making maple longbow use in hopes that one day people will use them for alching is a gamble, and they could just be sitting in your bank for a really long time. So if you're going to be fletching, my best guess, or my best option for you, is to get a really high woodcutting level, woodcut the logs needed to fletch them, and then sell the highest bows you can fletch, just so you're getting the most profit you can. And that way you don't have to deal with all the other stuff. Alright, so now we're going to go to rune crafting. Back in the day, rune crafting used to make up to about 400 million coins to 99, which was crazy, and it took several months of like a lot of hardcore training. Rune crafting has a 100% chance of making lots of money at the start. Because of the lack of teleports, this skill will be found hard to train and very time consuming. Those who stick with it though can get up to making nature runes and eventually death and blood runes, which will be used for, blood barrage or ice barrage, and these will be massive amounts of money. So because hybriding is definitely, I feel hybriding might be a big PKing system that comes back, so this will be pretty big. But again, as I said, if you don't have, people are gonna have to get glories, but glories aren't gonna be in here for a while. So my guess is don't put all your chips on the table of rune crafting being really fast, at least for a while. Next skill is thieving. Now, thieving has always been kind of a I guess I can't thieve these guys. Thieving has always been a very low profitable skill. When you get higher, you can kind of here and there you can make profit, but not that much. Granted, it is a way to bring actual coins into the game. You're only going to be getting about 30 GP, and that's about the same rate of a Slayer monster you kill. So I would say it's almost smarter to just get your Slayer level up and pick up all the coin drops. Just my opinion, though. Thieving, I would not suggest it. Now, Hunter. Hunter has been known for its money-making method, the red chinchompas. Specifically, botting it. Chinchompas will be a gamble at the start, although there is a lot of money in them. Eventually, most players will not have the money to spend their banks on chinchompas to get range up. My guess is red chinchompas will be profitable even more so after a few months. At the start, again, as I said, the minute people are playing, they're going to be trying to figure out how to save money, or there's the hardcore players who they're just going to be spending all their money on PK supplies, and my guess, those people will probably be poor and not end up doing very well. But there are other ways to make money in Hunter. For example, implings. Implings, when you get up to like dragon implings, at this time, kingly implings were not in the picture, so there was no rare impling. That was like 4 million coins, or however much it was at the start. But dragon implings are still pretty profitable. Couple months ago, I would say they were maybe like 150k. I don't 100% know. I remember a while ago we caught one and it was like 300k. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, Hunter, there's a minigame called Impetuous. I'm trying to remember the name. It was known as Puro. Okay, Impetuous Impulses, yes, or Puro as some know it. It was essentially like a little arena with little obstacle courses, and there was a whole bunch of implings. So implings are worth a lot of money, and there's a lot of profit in that. But if you're getting a high hunter level to find implings around to catch them. You might not be making a ton of money at the beginning, but give it time and you will. So then, after hunter, we go on to crafting. Now, crafting is an interesting skill, and I'm actually going to show you guys about this. So first things first is, I guess I can't do, okay. Whoa, spin flax into bowstrings. That used to be level 15 needed. Is it level 1 now? Okay, so it looks like it's level 1 now. I remember this being level 15 needed. I could be wrong. But this is it's always been a great way to make money. People need the bow, the string to make bows. And I feel range is going to be a relatively big part of the game, as it's always been. But I feel range might be a little more powerful back then than it is now. So, the only issue, though, is bots. If there's no bots in the game, then there's probably going to be no one really picking the flax. And flax is very tedious, it's very boring, but I feel like picking flax also could be very profitable and takes no skill required. You can do it with all stats level 1, no level gains whatsoever. So if you're low level and you have no money whatsoever and maybe you started a little late, that could be a good way to do it. But if you're doing that, I would suggest also spinning it into bowstring, because if you have a big collection of bowstring, you could be looking at a lot of money. Yeah, and also crafting has stuff like jewels and whatnot, and jewels like combat bracelets are going to be worth a lot of money because not a lot of people are going to do recipe disasters at first. So yeah, I feel like I've talked about all the skills. I'm just going to briefly go through them again really fast. Oh, mining and smithing. I skipped those skills. I apologize. Mining and smithing. So, mining is going to be a very profitable skill once you hit 85. If you're one of the first few people to hit 85, you're looking at a ton of money, but then maybe not so much later on. Smithing, you need high smithing. I believe you need like in the 99s or like 98s to do intense amount of rune. So let's look at rune. Yeah, so for rune plate legs, all that type of stuff, you need 99. And rune plate bodies you can buy at the store. The guy sells it after Dragon Slayer. So rune plate bodies are not necessarily going to be as profitable as rune plate legs and rune two-handed swords, because those will mainly be drops. And I don't know how common they are, especially back in 2007, because less monsters dropped them. But my honest opinion is they might be a little more rare, and they could be worth a lot more money. Anyways, if you have 85 mining and 99 smithing, you're looking at a lot of money. Now, lastly, if you've stuck to this video so far, this is really what you're going to want to be paying attention to. So I'm going to show you guys really fast a great way to make money at the start. This should give you about 30 or 40k, I don't remember exactly, but this is the Stronghold security. It's let me go up again really fast and show you where it's located, just for those in case who haven't played it. I know it's been a while since I've played RuneScape, but I'm getting excited for this update. So you spawn here in Lumbridge, you essentially just run up here. But anyways, it's right here in Barbarian Village. Now, this is safe for level 3s. I want to tell you guys this right now. Level 3s, the only thing you need is trout or salmon. So just go up here, you go through the doors. These monsters will attack you, so beware of that. This is where the food comes in handy. Originally, because I've already done it, you will click on one and they will ask you a question. So maybe if you don't want to fight it, you want to stay level 3, maybe ask a friend to fight the goblins or the minotaur and the wolves off for you. Just an idea, you don't necessarily have to follow it. and I'm not going to go through this whole thing because that is tedious. But while I am going through this, there's one thing I do want to talk about is items. What is going to be better for items, selling right away or selling after time? And I'm going to go more into this actually tomorrow when I'm actually playing the game. It's just a question I want you guys to think about, because GP is going to be very uncommon at the beginning, so items won't be worth all that much money, all that much coins, but at the same time they're going to be worth a lot because the price value of a coin itself is going to be worth a lot more. But just so you guys know, you click this and they'll give you like 10k, and then you just do the same thing on each floor. But then yeah, so what's better, to save your items and then sell them in mass bulk once money is worth more? Or is it smarter to wait or to sell now and then just keep selling until you are completely, maybe you fish at 1k lobs and you fish or sell them all right away. Me personally, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be selling a little bit here and there. I plan to maybe fish 1k lobs in a day and sell 200, so that way I'm still making money, and at the same time I'm still saving a lot for the end. But anyways, this is what it looks like. Finishing this should give you 30 or 40k, I don't remember exactly, it's a lot of money. And so yeah, I'm gonna show this method tomorrow again and some other stuff. I just kind of want to show you guys this in one video. So remember, most of these skills are going to be profitable, but there are some skills in particular. Do not waste your time with fire making. Even if you want to be the #1 player right away, fire making is honestly not going to be that fast, because logs are going to be used for fletching or maybe fire making. I do plan to get like maybe 30 or 40 fire making really fast, just so that way I have that total level, but I don't plan to keep training it. Anyways, you guys can do whatever you want. Hope this was helpful. I know I didn't say too many methods. Tomorrow when the game comes out, I will start working on tons of fishing guides and mining guides and several guides, because they're guides that I followed when I used to play. And so I'm really excited to show them, because I know there are people who already know this and more people who are going to want to know. So have a great day. I will see you guys tomorrow when we play. Again, this is Gamer Tactics. Subscribe if you want to see more RuneScape or any other game related videos. Have a great night or day or whatever, it doesn't really matter. And I will see you guys next time.